Shay Renee. So let's just get into it, shall we? What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about the most anticipated comeback, okay, of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 1, okay? Let me tell y'all something. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. First of all, they started the episode off with Toya, Porsha, acting like she about to go running. Now that's where you are. Now I just know that y'all about to be on some BS because you got Porsha up here acting like she running somewhere. Porsha is not running nowhere. Okay? As a runner, a person that has ran a half marathon, Porsha not running nowhere. You can just tell a person that ain't running. First of all, if you running, you not running in no wig because you're gonna be hot AF. Okay? You are not. Child, Porsha ain't running nowhere. But I guess it's supposed to be a artsy way of how she's running away from this marriage and, you know, all of the foolishness with Esther Roll's little brother, aka Simon. I don't know why Porsha was messing with him in the beginning. He is not attractive and looks are not everything, but that man gave me scammer vibes, in my opinion. Anyway, initially, it is what it is. I'm so sorry, not sorry. So moving on, Porsha just basically is the intro. They go into how she, you know, is going through all these problems with him, how he has her he locked her out of her house, and now she back in the house and she having trouble with filming in the house and this, that, and Child. Okay, girl. We had to talk about your divorce. I guess we might as well get it out the way in the beginning. Moving on, we go to Shamia's house, which is aka Sterling Manor. Okay. This is a $9 million home, and it is the second largest real estate sale in Atlanta. Okay. So huge deal for Shamia. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. A lot of y'all are liking Shamia on the show. I'm getting boring. I'm getting, yes, you're rich. Yeah, she's just rich. Shamia is giving me corny. I hate that, but I'm getting very corny vibes from her. The singing was a lot. It was like, okay, girl, you want to go with this I'm the female Jamie Foxx thing. You have all these skills. You can act, you can sing, you're rich. You're not really just Porsha's little friend. You have a big personality of your own. I get it. But you're giving corny, honey. I'm not impressed. I'm impressed by her house. I am. Her house is gorgeous. It is beautified. Okay. Love the house. That is giving Real Housewife realness. I just hope that this show does not mess up her marriage, because these shows are good for that. So, you know, we go into Shamia, her daughters. She sees her kid. Her daughter Shaya is 5, and Shiloh, which is 15 months old, but she was born premature, and she currently has a couple of health complications that they're dealing with, and she wants to be a mother of 3 and have another kid. She wants to hopefully have a little boy, but it's just a lot going on right now with Shiloh's health conditions. So she goes into talking about how she met her husband Jerome at Rose Bar in Atlanta, and she goes into this big old long story about how they was talking, and then she couldn't believe that this man is so fine and he's so impressive and so amazing and he's single, and she blah blah blah. The producer was like, hey Shamia, hey, hurry it up, you're talking a lot, it's a lot, get on with it. So then she ends up saying, well, okay, long story short, I took a shit in his bathroom. He didn't find me gross, and I came back the next day and he had wipes in the bathroom. I'm like, okay, girl. Moral of the story, I guess, take a dump in somebody's bathroom. That's what the people were saying on Twitter. I don't know. Okay. Moving on. Kudos to her. He's just as unattractive as Simon. He's just a younger version. I don't know. But hey, you like it, I love it. He's not my man, but you live a good life. Moving on. So in the next scene, we see Drew is outside playing with her kids, okay? So she talks about how dramatic her divorce is, how Kenya ends up coming over, and they have a conversation. Kenya brings Brooklyn over, and Brooklyn goes to play with Drew's daughter. So apparently she done turned Ralph's office, which was at the first part of the house, she turned that into her hair salon. So she got the main part of the house, because I guess she's the main caretaker for the children, and then he live in the basement. So I don't know if there's necessarily a door to the basement to get in, because it seemed like the stairs go straight into the basement, because they showed a scene where her daughter went down into the basement to go see if Ralph was down there. I'm like, okay, all right. So moving on, when he was there, he gave his daughter a kiss and a hug, and then he says, all right, we'll go back upstairs now, baby. Now you're here. I don't know if he had a woman down there or not, but apparently he has his own entrance into the house via the basement, and she's upstairs. Okay. So moving on, they have to live like this, I guess, until they can afford to sell the house and go their separate ways. I don't understand why they don't just sell this house and get your own place. It's not like Shamia and Jerome's house where it's magnanimous, gigantorous. Like, I don't know. But child, he copped out in the basement. So moving on, Kenya asks her, so Drew says that she's been busy. She's done 5 movies. She talks about, how her singing career's taken off, and she owes it all to Dennis. Dennis is very involved in music, and that's his passion. I have trouble listening to Drew because she just gives me liar. You give me lie face. You give me a lot of lies. Lots of lies. I just Why do you have so many assistants, Drew? That's what I want to understand. Why do you have so many? What do you do that is just so extravagant that you need all these people to help you to do nothing? Moving on. So Drew is hooked up with Dennis. Of all people to help you, I thought Dennis had the cognac. I don't, the NYAK. I thought that Dennis was selling the hot dogs. I thought Dennis was doing the hookah bar. I thought that's what was Dennis doing. I didn't know Dennis was the music man as well. It's given, girl, bye. You over here doing whatever you doing the dirty dance with Dennis. And it's really messed up if that's what you're doing, Drew, because you over here wearing Porsha's head in your head, acting like you her friend, and then you gonna go and boot scoot and boogie with her baby daddy. Girl, what? And my thing is, if Dennis was managing your music career, why wouldn't you talk to Porsha about that first to see how she would feel about that? Because at the end of the day, Porsha acted like a plum daggone fool over Dennis. That's just what it is. She acted like a plum daggone fool over him. And honestly, I don't think that Porsha really wanted to be with Simon. I think that Porsha thought that Simon had more money than Dennis. So she just tried to go with the BBD, the bigger, better deal. And then she saw that Shamia was married to Jerome, Mr. Captain Moneybags. He is, I guess, he does HVAC, and he's done HVAC for very large, I think for the airport or whatever in Atlanta. So he's huge in the game. HVAC is something that we will always need. We always going to need heating and air conditioning. That is a skill and a trade that no matter what AI tries to do, they're not going to be able to replace humans for that. You're just not. So my opinion is, I think that Porsha is just, she's extremely jealous of Shamia. I don't know if it's just that she's jealous of Shamia. I just think that she doesn't want anybody to have a bigger, grander life than her. Or if they do have a big, grand life, she wants them to be on even playing field. She don't want anybody to be able to sun her or look at her like, girl, you are beneath me. I'm not your little friend. You my little friend now. But Porsha still, even though Shamia has a bigger house, Shamia has more money, Porsha's still more entertaining to me. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. But moving on, getting back to Drew. Child, Kenya asked Drew if Porsha knows her and Dennis are in business together, and she acts like Porsha does know. I don't think that Porsha knows. I think that Drew is a liar, and I think that Porsha need to keep both eyes open on her, because I honestly think that Porsha is dipping back into that Dennis and his potbelly pond. That's what I think. But moving on, we meet Kelly. Kelly is having a party for her oldest daughter, Chloe. She has 4 daughters. She's currently going through a divorce with her ex-husband. Her soon-to-be ex-husband is the father of her last 3 children. I guess Chloe has a different dad than the last 3. This is Chloe's 17th birthday. Chloe asked for a Birkin, but instead Kelly gives her 17 gifts. Amongst most of those gifts were a Chanel bag, several different types of bags, Balmain, you name it, jewelry, all this stuff. So Kelly moved from Baltimore to ATL in 2003, and she has a business, a restaurant called Nana's Chicken and Waffles. She has a mimosa mix as well, and that she's promoting on the show. So basically, she's a businesswoman. She has restaurants. She's doing the thing. So they show Kelly's townhouse. Kelly got jewelry upon jewelry. Kelly is not missing a beat. Okay, Kelly has the coins. So Kelly is having this party. Her little friends are there. She's talking about her divorce and how tumultuous the relationship was. She alluded to this relationship being physically harmful. We'll say that. As Color Me Pink says, a schmusive. Okay, as a catch my drift. So her getting out of this marriage is important to her, and she's moving on with her life, child. Kudos to Kelly. But I don't like Kelly. Kelly got a lot of mess going on with her. But we're going to get into that later. So moving on, Porsha in the next scene goes to see her lawyer, Randy, and her butt gets stuck in the elevator. Really? This what we doing? We showcasing Porsha's booty? Okay. So Porsha goes to meet with Randy, and Randy says, listen, I'm so happy to be servicing you. Unfortunately, I'm sorry that it's for what it's for, but nevertheless, we're happy to serve you. So they sit down and talk about it, and Porsha just goes in on how they highlight her divorce, her initial divorce from from Cordell. So after they talk about the divorce with Cordell, then they go into what's currently going on with Simon. So Porsha goes into talking about how he just wasn't the man that she thought he was. She's like, bills being paid became a concern. Her realizing that he didn't really have as much money as he said he had. His green card was shisty, all these different things. Like, she just was not aware of the things that Simon was hiding. And she goes into how much she just adored getting up and cooking for him. Like, she just loved Esther Roll's little brother so bad. Like, she just loved him so much. And he was her best friend, and she's still trying to work through it. And Porsha, I don't even know. I don't even know how you became saturated for this man at all. I don't even drink Aquafina, but I would have had to pour some down there just to make it work for him. Uh, mm, girl, child, but she acting broken up about this stuff. So moving on, she talked about, her posting pics like everything was okay, even though she knew that the relationship wasn't in a great space. She was faking the funk for the public. And Porsha tends to do that a lot. She tends to fake the funk for the public. I think that Porsha has a very false sense of reality. I think that she struggles to be serious. Like, she lives in la la land. And I think that she wants everybody else to live in la la land with her. And that's just not okay. And I think that she wanted Simon to be amazing so bad. I think she wanted the image of him to be, you know, picture perfect. And it just wasn't. It just isn't. Okay. So she found out that he was going to treat her the same way he treated Fallon. It was all good in the hood when he was doing it to somebody else, but now that he doing it to you, it's totally different. So she tried to communicate with him. Then he started giving her the silent treatment, and she's like, oh, okay. So let me tell you something. I ain't Fallon, okay? I will ice you out, and what you won't do is play with me. So I get that, and I can appreciate that about Porsha. I think that that's that Cancer in her coming out, where it's like, okay, oh no, you think you trying to hurt me? I will, anything you can do, I can do way better, okay? And I don't really like yours anyway. I don't think Porsha was really all that into him. I think she had to force herself to love him. But it is what it is. Moving on. She says she's mourning what was real and she wants to move on. Okay, girl. Moving on. Shamia meets up at a restaurant called Knife with Britt and Kelly. So Britt talks about how her child. Let me stop right here, y'all. Let's talk about Britt's husband. Um, Britt's husband is giving me very much TJ from Real Housewives of Potomac. Mm-hmm. Britt's husband. I don't know. I don't know if Britt is his type. I'm gonna just say that. I don't know. Mm, 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 mm. Britt. Moving on. Britt talks about how her husband wants to make sure she has the best and how he upgraded her ring and this, that, and the third. Okay. Britt, we know that you're excited over this ring, girl. You wanted everybody to notice it. Kelly noticed it. Shamia noticed it. But when you're around friends that have money like you, it's very new money to be pressed for people to notice that you got something. Wear your jewelry and wear it with pride, and keep it pushing. If people notice, they notice. If they don't, they don't. It's given that Britt needs attention. Britt needs a lot of attention. We're gonna learn that. So moving on. Britt and Kelly know each other and they're cool. Kelly tells Shamia she's so proud of her as they celebrate her upcoming B-Day, and she commends her on how she's dealing with all the things with her baby that has currently suffering from some ailments, and how she's just balancing everything in her life and just making it all look easy. So they ask who is coming to the party, and Shamia says Porsha, her best friend, is coming despite all, the issues that she's having and everything that's going on in the media. She's going to come to the party. So Kelly says she shouldn't have taken that woman's man. First of all, Kelly, You are giving me attention whore right out the gate. Straight like that. Straight like that. You are giving me attention whore. That's what you're giving. You're giving me very problematic. You are already on Marlo vibes, trying to be seen, doing the most. Every scene that I've seen you, you have a drink in your hand. I understand you own restaurants, you cook, you do all the things, okay? You are a phenomenal woman. I get it. But, sir, I mean, ma'am, you are being very messy. It's giving extremely, extremely messy. That's what you are. Why are you talking about Porsha like this? Get to know her. At least, child, moving on. So Shamia defends Porsha in this moment and says there was no crossover in that relationship. And Kelly says it definitely looked crazy for show. So Shamia says, don't speak like you know things for a fact and just get to know her for yourself. So Kelly says Porsha crossed the line and she said it all and she saw it all in the blogs. So they asked who is coming to Shamia's party outside of Porsha. So Shamia says Drew and Ralph. Drew is coming and she even invited her husband Ralph, even though they're getting a divorce. Why is Ralph invited? Why does everybody have this affinity for Ralph? Like he just needs to be everywhere. He was not that well. I don't know. Ralph was a bit problematic. He was almost like another Peter on the show. But moving on, Britt and Kelly go into Shamia says she heard that Drew and Dennis were doing music together. So Britt and Kelly go into how they both know Dennis. So Kelly was like, yeah, Dennis was in her DMs and, you know, he was trying to get with her. And Britt says she dated Dennis and he bought her some diamonds in the past when they were young. So both of them had a little piece of Dennis. Britt tried to act like she ain't do nothing with Dennis. He just bought her some diamonds and that was that. Kelly, I don't know. I think she had a little yin yang with Dennis. But either way, I'm pretty sure both instances were prior to Porsha. I mean, the man has a past. Obviously, he's out here dickety doo dickety a with all these birds out in Atlanta. And Kelly, I don't like your lips. Let's just move on. So they toasted Shamia and her B-Day and commenced to feed each other alcohol. Okay. So moving on, Porsha and Shamia meet at the strip club, which I thought was very interesting. Why are we going to the strip club? This scene right here gave me very much Love and Hip Hop, like those random ass off brand scenes. You know that this is the type of stuff we get from Love and Hip Hop. Let's not turn into that. Okay, we got the ass clapping cheeks and all of that. Ma'am, it's giving tacky. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. But moving on, they looking like they up in the Players Club in the Pank, okay? And Shamia tells her Simon tells Porsha rather that Simon texted her and congratulated her on her new car. I mean on her peach or whatever. And Porsha says he is such a liar. He's just trying to make my life miserable. She's like, don't call him brother. Just call him Simon. He is Simon now. Because Shamia was like, yeah, my brother called me talking about Simon or whatever. Because I guess Simon is cool with Jerome because both of them are Africans and, you know, they're both supposed to, you know, well, we see Jerome is wealthy, but Simon was supposedly wealthy. So they, you know, both businessmen, things like that. So they all got along, and I'm sure they double dated and things. But yeah, Porsha ain't with Shamia being cool with Simon no more. Which I'm like, I don't know why Shamia would have been like, oh yeah, like Simon called me and da, da, da. Why would you think that Porsha would be excited about this? And this man is trying to kick her out of their house. Porsha is holding on to this lavish lifestyle for dear life that this man is trying to actively sweep from up under her as we speak. What? Shamia. Oh, Shamia. Maybe this was one of your Jamie Foxx characters. You were pretending to be a supportive friend. I don't know. Moving on. So Shamia tells Porsha about Drew and Dennis and them hanging out for Drew's B-Day. And Porsha says she doesn't like all this sneaking around that Drew is doing with Dennis. So I thought it was interesting that Porsha said that Drew and Dennis were sneaking around, because at the end of the episode, Porsha said that Dennis invited her to Drew's birthday party. Like, Drew didn't invite Porsha, but Dennis was invited, and Dennis invited Porsha. So I can't imagine if him and Drew were canoodling that he would invite Porsha. But I feel like Dennis is very smart though. Dennis is like, oh, they gonna be on the show together. I got to invite my baby mama because I don't want her to have a wide eye to what I'm doing, even though they are not together. But Porsha acts like Dennis supposed to be a daggone nun, and he's supposed to just wait for her so they be together whenever she feel like it. Child, moving on, child. Um, in the next scene, we see Britt and her husband talk about having a good time at Shamia's party, how they want to have a good time there. And it should be fun. Shamia is at her house. She starts singing, asking her mother about being God's favorite and telling God to stop the rain, to keep the rain away so that people could be outside instead of inside her house the whole time. Then we see Cynthia call Porsha, and Porsha is still getting ready. Even though Shamia is damn near ready and people are starting to arrive at her house. I'm like, Porsha, you got half a wig on, getting your makeup done. When did you start this process? Because baby, I drove in Atlanta, and Atlanta traffic is absolutely disrespectful. It is absolutely disrespectful. I don't want to hear nobody talk about DC traffic. DC traffic is bad, but Atlanta traffic is absolutely gnarly. Gnarly. Never would I freaking ever. Okay. I could not live in Atlanta because of the traffic alone. Moving on. So Cynthia talks about her conversation, how she's checked up on Porsha in regards to Simon, and Porsha says that she appreciates her checking in on her. She's one of the very few people that did reach out to her concerning Simon, and she appreciates it. And then Cynthia was like, yeah, I'm so sad that this is going on. I was looking forward to going to Nigeria with you, or going to Africa with you. And Porsha was like, well, I did, I got ancestry, and I actually am 40% Nigerian. So I got family there, girl. I realized I had family there. So I will be going back. Do y'all find it interesting? I just find it. I just want to know what y'all think. Um, Porsha is so free-willed to go to Nigeria and go to Africa and visit all of the many countries of Africa, right? But when Shamia was getting married in Africa, you claimed that you had this ailment that you could not sit on an airplane for a long time. You gave this whole crying scene, did the absolute most, and basically did a whole show over why you couldn't go to your best friend's wedding. But now you hop a jet. You can reach me by aeroplane. You can do all of that to go and do whatever you want to do. To Porsha, you a bad friend. I'm sorry. Shamia is a way better friend to you than you ever have been to her. So moving on, they joke about Drew and Dennis, Cynthia and Porsha, that is, and them getting together, and Porsha, basically throwing shade at them. So moving on, Shamia sits down with Kelly to address her comments and strong opinion where it comes to Porsha, and asks her to ask Porsha about any of the things that she has questions about in regards to her relationship with Simon. And she says, don't say anything foolish. Basically, don't embarrass her. Okay. Don't embarrass Shamia in front of Porsha. I'm like, first of all, who gives a damn about what Kelly thinks? Kelly, listen, but Porsha, on the other hand, you had to know that people were going to ask you that. You had to know that people were going to say that. You've been on a hiatus from TV. People are going to want to know what your response is going to be. And clearly, you gave none. We're going to get into that. So people begin to arrive at the party. Charles Oakley's wife, Angela, is on the scene. Cynthia comes, Kelly, Britt, and Drew. So the ladies chat, and Angela First of all, Angela, you are corny. These ladies are extremely corny to me. Angela is like, yeah, because put some respect on my man, y'all, because that's Charles Oakley. That's Charles Oakley. Girl, girl. I remember when Charles Oakley was just the glorified security for on the court for Michael Jordan. Charles Oakley was a bully on the court. Okay, let's just call it what it is. Charles Oakley was the one that was doing the most on the court physically, and not trying to drive to the hoop type physically. Okay, child, if y'all watched basketball back in the 90s, you know what I'm talking about. But girl, Charles Oakley is like washed. Nobody is like, hey, let me look at those highlights from Charles Oakley. The only thing Oakley that people remotely remember now is the glasses, the sunglasses. You're doing a lot. Talking about put some respect on my husband's name, girl. Meanwhile, he over there looking at Cynthia like I should have been with her. And I'm like, mind you, y'all got married 8 years ago. This man is old as Methuselah. Okay, he is probably in his mid 60s or late 50s, just now getting married. How many times did you have to beg him to marry you? Just saying. Moving on. Um, did we talk about Shamia singing in the hallway with her mother to get the rain away? I thought that was a lot. It was a lot. I didn't really like all the singing. I think it lasted too long. It must have really bothered me because that was like 2 or 3 scenes ago, and I'm still thinking about it. Moving on. Kenya arrives, and her and Britt have an awkward exchange over Britt's ring. First of all, Britt wants everybody to see this damn ring. Her husband is an insurance adjuster, or he analyzes risks. Those types of people in insurance companies do make a shit ton of money. But Britt, girl, just wear your little ring and stop. Don't nobody give a fuck. Who are you? We do not care, girl. I'm over you already. Moving, moving on. So she says, "Yeah, my this is my new ring. This is my replacement." So Kenya was like, "Oh, where's your wedding band?" She was just trying to understand. She thought that I think that people are so used to Kenya being shady that Kenya wasn't even being shady to the girl in that moment. She was literally, I would have asked the same thing. It looks like an engagement ring. She didn't have, so see how I haven't had mine welded together, but this is my engagement ring. Okay. This is my engagement ring. This is my wedding band. Okay. I haven't had them, you're supposed to have them like soldered together or whatever the term is. But she just had on the engagement ring part. She didn't have her wedding band placed with the ring. So with her talking about she's, upgrade, she got an upgrade and this, that, and the third, and he added some more carats. It's an 8 carat ring and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, girl, okay. You want a cookie? Matter of fact, I would love a cookie right now. Y'all, I just got here from working out. Bear with me. I'm doing this at 1:30 a.m., by the way, to record and get out for y'all by 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm so sorry I couldn't get it out at 8 p.m. where I had it scheduled yesterday, but I was still teaching my class. I didn't have time to pre-record. I'm trying to get back into this stuff, but I'm still trying to make sure I'm consistent with going to the gym. So I went to the gym and came straight home, and here's where I'm at, and then I'm going to shower and take my ass to bed and get up and do it all over again. So moving on, back to the show, because this ain't about me, okay? So Kenya and Britt have that awkward exchange. I don't know why Britt expected Kenya to kiss her ass. Weird, but moving on. Kenya is like, girl, I don't know you. Okay, cool. Your ring is nice. That's nice. Moving on. I don't care about you. So Shamia everybody's having a good time. They're partying. And then Shamia is summoned to come outside. And she gets a Cullinan Rolls Royce for her birthday. Okay. Her husband buys her this Rolls Royce for her birthday. I don't know what's the difference between a Cullinan Rolls Royce, a regular Rolls Royce, a mini Rolls Royce. I don't know. I probably will never have one. But kudos to her for getting the rich girl gifts, okay? So Angela says she was over there punching her husband in the side, talking about some, these are the type of gifts I want. Uh, Angela, Mr. Oakley has been out of the NBA for quite some time. Unless he's still selling Oakley glasses, I don't know. I don't know if you're getting one, baby. You're not getting you're not getting that. So you can stop punching him because at this point it's just hurting. Moving on. So then Cynthia makes a joke and says, "Hell, if my ex-husbands was buying me gifts like this, my marriages would last." Cynthia, we know why your marriages didn't last, baby girl. Your marriages don't last because you think you're right all the time, and you don't know how to. You don't deal with stress well. You don't deal with difficult conversations very well. You don't like to have any type of exchange or back and forth where someone doesn't agree with you. That's your problem. That's why you're no longer married. Moving on. So she, is in the, Shamia is inside the car enjoying the vehicle. And here comes Porsha, late as fuck. Porsha, what are you doing? Why are you coming to this girl's party 2 hours freaking late? This is not your birthday party. Like, I don't understand how you can come and have this drastic ass entrance. And then you come in right at the presentation of the vehicle and you all up in the car like you've been there. And Shamia is looking at you like, girl, get on. Get out of my pictures. This is my moment. This ain't about you. And I can sense that Shamia is so used to trying to be sensitive to Porsha's feelings and trying not to get to the point where they're arguing back and forth, because I feel like Shamia is a Taurus, I believe. So Taurus women typically don't hold their tongue. They are ready to get at you at a moment's notice. But I feel like she is sensitive to Porsha's feelings. She don't want to create an argument with her. She don't want to be on Porsha's bad side because they are friends and they know each other for so long. She knows how Porsha can just go. She's extra sensitive. So Shamia is like, you know what? The juice ain't even worth the squeeze with this chick. Let me enjoy my moment. This is my car. This is my time. This is my birthday. She trying to be seen, but it ain't all about her. No matter how much she trying to make it about her, this is my moment. I am, in fact, the nucleus of this group. So let me just chill. I'm not going to let none of her behaviors bother me. Kudos to you, Shamia, because you are really the real MVP of Porsha and her delusion. So moving on, they go inside and Porsha and Shamia are behind closed doors, and Porsha apologizes to Shamia for being late, and she blames it on traffic, saying it just takes 2 hours to get anywhere in Atlanta. Child, I agree with her. It does take hella long to get somewhere 15 minutes down the road. It could take you an hour and a half to 2 hours to get there in freaking Atlanta. Absolutely insane. When I went to Atlanta for Love and Marriage Huntsville's former star, Melody Cherie's white party, it was ridiculous getting to the mall. It was oh my God, the traffic in Atlanta was ridiculous. But moving on, Cynthia and Kelly talk off to the side about, Cynthia and Kenya talk off to the side about Kelly saying Porsha is out here trying to steal people's husbands. And Kenya says, hide your wives, hide your husbands, and starts laughing. I'm like, Kenya, I knew you was going to jump in on the bandwagon to get after Porsha, but I think that Porsha and Kenya are cool to an extent. So I didn't really think that Kenya was going to give Porsha too much of a hard time anyway. So Britt asked Kenya for a hug because she was like, Britt comes over and all of them are congregating. And Britt says, Kenya, can I have a hug? Because you hugged everybody but me. And it was like you were just coming off, like your energy was just off. Kenya was like, what? I hugged my friend. Did I hug everybody? No, I hugged my friend, Cynthia. Like, Kenya is making it very clear, I don't know y'all. So I'm not about to just come in. I'm not fake like that where I'm just going to come in and act like we all besties. No, we on this show together. And my goal is for us to get to know each other. But I'm not about to come up in here kissing your ass. That's not what I'm about to do. And I'm not about to hug you, do the air kisses and all the fake shit like Porsha was doing when she came in. Girl, hello, how you doing? I'm Kenya. Who are you? Because the bottom line is, don't nobody know you, Britt. How many auditions did you have to go through to get here? Let's make that clear. It's very clear that you're coming for Kenya. Like you got a serious hard on for Kenya for some reason, Britt. I don't know what's going on, but baby girl, stand down. Kenya don't owe you no hugs, honey. And why are you so pressed? Why do you need to pledge of allegiance from Kenya? Stop. So moving on, Kenya sits down with all of the ladies, and they I don't know if it was Kelly. No, Britt and Kenya have their little exchange, and Kenya just kind of brushes it off. And then Kenya sits down to talk to the ladies and ask Kelly about what she was upset about, and why she said that about Porsha. So Kelly says, I just asked, why did Porsha take that lady's husband? So Kenya starts laughing, and as they're all laughing about it, Porsha comes over to greet all of the ladies, and she hugs, air kisses everybody, and then Kelly immediately repeats it as soon as Porsha sits down. She says, yeah, hey Porsha, so why you take that lady husband? Kelly, that's a snooze fest. Like, it's like you've been waiting all your life to see Porsha to ask her that. You really thought you ate, you thought you really read her down, you and your Shay's Lounge lips. Girl, stop it. Stop it, Kelly. Okay? Your ponytail is struggling. Your lips are struggling. You are absolutely struggling, ma'am. Maybe you should go put your lips in the waffle maker that you use to make all those waffles that you have in your very successful restaurants. That's what you need to do, and get them back down to normal size. That's what we need to do, because you are bumping your gums a little bit too much for my liking. And listen, Porsha is my cancer sister. Even though I had to separate myself from Porsha with her being, I found out she was a liar and I didn't like it. But what we not going to do is make that like the whole theme of this season. You got to have more than that. You have got to have more than that to discuss. It's like you going straight for the gutter with Porsha. Find something else to do. Find you something safe to do. Okay. So Porsha says, that's your opening line. Like, but girl, what is your name? Like, what's your last name? I don't even know you. Like, why are you even speaking to me about this? Like, who are you again? Hello, come again. And she was like, yeah, why you, I just said, so you want to answer the question? Porsha, you didn't answer the question though. You could have had a better comeback than that. Like, I didn't take nobody's husband. Where your husband at? That's what I would have asked her. Or something like that. Ma'am, it wasn't given that you were really like confident that you didn't steal that lady husband, Porsha. But okay, girl, moving on. Britt chimes in because Porsha is like, yeah, okay, I'm done with you. Don't even talk to me no more, Kelly, because I don't know who sent you, who this for, but you need to get on out of my face. I don't got time. So Britt turns around. Hey, Porsha, like, I know Kelly may be coming off wrong, but she really is a sweet girl. She's just as sweet as the syrup that she puts on her very well crafted waffles and pancakes at Nana's. Okay. Listen, she's very great. She's awesome. Please just give her a chance. Britt, mind your business, because you and your long piece of hair and bangs in the back, don't nobody know what your hair is doing, and I damn sure don't know what you doing minding their business. Okay, move on, girl. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Let your friend sit in her bullshit. Because if Porsha sit here and read the fuck out of her, that's what she gets. You asked for it. Okay? Period. You inserted yourself into a situation. Porsha is giving her response. Kelly is open to respond as well. But let's not have this a continued ping pong match of back and forth. You say what you need to say. She say what she need to say. Let's move on. Moving on, okay? They move to another room because it's really loud downstairs because the ladies are trying to have a conversation. So they go up to this very well crafted, posh little sitting area that Shamia has upstairs in her house. So Porsha says that Kelly is weird as she's walking up there. Because she basically like, I don't like this bitch. So as they're all sitting down, Shamia says she didn't get invited to Drew's birthday party and she feeling some type of way about that. And Drew was like, I know, like, oh my God, I gave everybody's name to my assistant. And like, first of all, this is how you know Drew is lying because her voice just gets kind of up and down and she doing a little bit too many movements than she should be doing. Her eyes is all cockamamie and all cockeyed and all over the place. She can't look you in the face. Drew was lyington, okay? She ain't invite none of these bitches to her birthday party because Dennis was going to be there. And I think that maybe you are having some sort of inappropriate relationship with Dennis, Drew. Anyway, Shamia was like, so what's up with you and Dennis? Like, what's happening? And Porsha was like, well, yeah, you know, because I got invited to her birthday party, but only because Dennis invited me. Drew, you got some splaining to do. You got some splaining to do, okay? And this is when Shamia asked Drew if she messing with Dennis. And Drew says, what? Drew, you full of shit, okay? I, I can't with Drew. Drew is a liar from the pits of my pinky toe. Girl, stop. If you screwed you know, the Black Santa Claus, go right on and do that. Did you like get extra sensation from his belly that hangs so significantly over his hips? Like, Dennis is cool, but I just want him to lose some weight. I just want Dennis to get rid of that pot belly because I just know his cholesterol is high. I just know it is. It's bad. Heart disease runs in the Black community. We got to get that together. But y'all, anyway, thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ooh, God don't like ugly or bad cholesterol. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta with us too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out. Oh, and feel free to check out my community wall. It will have the times and what shows that I will now be reviewing. We're going to be on time with shows and postings. I will be setting out my postings from here on out. So I will see y'all soon. Probably again today. Maybe a pre-recorded, maybe a live. Never know. Oh, also Beyond the Gates. I am reviewing Beyond the Gates. If you want somebody else to watch their reviews too, the So What Else Is Going On podcast, I will put that down, link that down in the description of this video. But we will have a live review of episode 1 through 11 pretty much. It's going to be a quick review, but we're going to get up to date on Beyond the Gate. So thank y'all for watching. I'm going for real. Peace out.